Jan Vandersloot says he told his father, Paulus, that he sold Natalee Holloway to a man in Aruba. Jan says he recorded conversations between his father and him that refer to this sale and could possibly corroborate what he told us on tape. In a moment you will hear one of those recordings that Jan says took place in early 2008. Now, we've repeatedly reached out to Jan Vandersloot's father, Paulus, but he has refused to respond. We cannot verify if the voices on the tape are Jan and his father. The prosecutor in Aruba could do this with his subpoena power. And note, Jan says this is his father on the recording. We had two different experts analyze if the recording was altered. One expert is confident it is not altered, while the other expert has concerns that the recording may have been modified. Here it is.
Hoi papa, hoe gaat het? Ja, goed, wel. Ja, ik ben het gewoon een beetje zat, ik kan het niet meer uitstaan. Johan, je moet gewoon volhouden. Kijk, ik wil gewoon dat het over is, het maakt niet uit wat er met me gebeurt. Ik snap het, maar er zijn niet altijd veel dingen gebeurd. Je moet gewoon sterk blijven. Het komt echt niet. Het is klopt. Johan, je hebt geen andere keuze. Terwijl ik kan naar voren komen en het eind maken hier aan. Ja. Dat lijkt me toch geen goed idee. Ik moet nu ook even aan ons denken. Ja, dat doe ik ook. Maar ja, als ze een meisje vinden, dan is het tenminste bewijzen dat ik niet van pijn heb gedaan of zo. Nou, wat je hebt gedaan is vrij erg. Mensenhandel is zwaar strafbaar. Ja, ik weet het, maar ik wist toch ook allemaal niet dat het zo lijkt. Johan, het is jammer dat ik een bepaalde keuzes heb gemaakt. Maar het moet ook een moment zijn dat het over is. Oké, ik kan hier met niemand over praten, snap je dat?
Jan Vandersloot's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, joins us live. Joe, am I right? You still do represent Jan?
I represent him, Greta, for the purpose of the Aruba investigation, which, for all intents and purposes, is over. You know, quite frankly, when you asked me to come on last week or a few weeks ago, yeah, I hadn't seen this tape. Had I seen this first, I probably would have declined your invitation, Greta, because I just, we could do this, and look, you obviously, you paid him some money to either give him a tape recording or have him give you tapes or to submit to an interview.
Wait, let's stop there. Let me explain something.
Please.
Just so you get it right. He contacted us. He said he had a tape.
Yeah.
And I said we couldn't buy it, but we could license it. That's what the media does. You license photos, you license recordings, you license tape. He gave us the tape. We had it sent to someone to have it checked out. There were problems with it. I went to Thailand to find out what the story was on the tape to fill in the blanks to corroborate it.
Okay, so whatever I have, I mean, an email from, I guess, one of your producers, Steph Watts, you know, to Jon talking about the Western Union transaction. Greta, look.
The bottom line, that is how the money is transferred.
You paid him for a tape.
There's no secret.
You paid him for a tape that he made and wound up getting an hour interview with him, and so be it, Greta. Look, great TV, great ratings.
Do you have a problem with that?
Well, yeah, I do have a problem with it, Greta, because if you offer Jon $10,000 tomorrow and ask him to tell you a fifth story, he'll do it. Clearly, he's a sick kid. Clearly, I have nothing to say in defense. I have nothing to say in defense of his actions, Greta. Okay. But I still tell you, and I stand by the notion that the investigation regarding the disappearance of Natalee Holloway has not led to Jon. That's the bottom line. No one expects anyone to believe anything this kid has to say anymore. Quite frankly, he's on the verge of sociopath and despicable.
Explain something to me, Joe.
Please.
Explain to me. According to the timeline, I'm trying to figure this out because I really want this investigated. That's why we're bringing this information forward. Because now stop. There's been resistance from the Aruba. There's been resistance from you, which of course that's your job as the lawyer. I understand that, and I have an appreciation for a defense lawyer.
I know you do.
But we have this, he comes to us when he says, look, I have my father on tape saying that about the human trafficking. This explains what happened. I'd like to find her alive, is what he told us. Of course, I didn't believe that it was true, that she could possibly be alive, but he said that he sold her. So I said, you know, what do you have? And he came to us. We didn't go after him.
Greta, that's fine, but look at the source. I mean, he's told so many different versions.
All right, well, what about his father? Is his how do you justify what his father said on his tape? Is his father also telling all these different versions?
Skip,
you're on. Is the tape made up?
I spoke to Paulus last night as this was going on. I mean, talk about a guy who's just, you know, you don't know Paulus. I do. Paulus is a simpleton.
Is this tape made up? Is this tape just crazy?
Paulus absolutely denies ever having that conversation, ever. Okay, so yes, I believe that tape's old. And think about it, Greta. Think about it for a second.
Will he give us
hold on,
a
Greta,
voice
let me finish my
sample
sentence.
so we can do a comparison?
Hold on a second.
So we can check it out.
Listen,
I'm willing to check it out.
Just hold on a second. Well, think about the logic of this. Euron calls you and recorded an incriminating conversation with his father. Why? For what purpose? So he could sell it to you? I mean, why would he have an incriminating tape recording between himself and his father?
I'm trying to. All I want to do, Joe, is try to find out.
If that's the case, why in July did you have this interview, and why has it not been turned over to it? Why don't you just send it to the authorities? How about the FBI? Did they get a copy of this?
If you want to know the practical matter, is because no sooner that we had done, we needed to corroborate to make sure there wasn't a lie, because he named a lot of people. In fact, if you notice, we bleeped out some names as we're trying to investigate. Then we went into what you may have noticed was a presidential election, so we've been busy doing that.
But you don't have to do this investigation. Go ahead and give the tape to the FBI. They're not involved in the presidential election.
The FBI has no jurisdiction over this. For God's sake,
they can't investigate? You know they investigated this case.
Joe, let me find out one thing. If this is a made-up tape, give me a voice sampling from Paulus Vandersloot so that I can do a voice comparison analysis. There's a forensic way to do that. Get that for me,
Greta.
and if this turns out to be a lie, I'll say this tape is a lie.
Fox News does not, as much as I respect you and this network, Fox News is not the end-all be-all for investigative services. There's a law enforcement agency involved. So you don't just say give you the power of attorney or give him a voice exemplar.
If you're saying that this tape is a fraud, I'm willing to investigate it, and I'm willing to say if it is a fraud, I'll say on the air, we did this analysis of Paulus Vandersloot's voice to the tape, and it's wrong. I'm willing to do that. But if you come on and tell me that's not true, at least give me the ability to prove or disprove it.
Let me say this. I am not saying it's true or not. I am telling you what Paulus said. I wasn't there. I wasn't a witness to any of this. I'm telling you what the investigation...
Call Paulus up right now when you go into the green room and say, Paulus, give him a voice sample if this is a fraud.
Greta, why was this tape not sent to the authorities then? I mean, why hold it to like November if they did this in July? If you really think, because you said on the interview last night, you said to Euron when you were trying to get him to speak, you said, what if she's still alive, Euron? I still think there's a chance Natalee could still be alive. Time is of the essence.
Joe?
Why?
Joe, because you know what? Unlike you and others, I've been spending my weekends actually working on this case. Do not criticize me for not working. It's 2008.
Listen, don't be defensive, please, Greta.
No.
I'm not criticizing you for working, but send the tape to an authority. Send the tape to an authority. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're not working on it.
If they're willing to use their police power and subpoena power to subpoena a voice exemplar from Euron Vandersloot, and our FBI doesn't have the authority, but the Reuben prosecutor does, he's got it. He can have it.
So you have conditions on giving over possibly incriminating evidence? Give him the tape. Send him the tape right now.
To do something, not sit on it. Not to just sit on it.
Well, I have no control over that, Greta. You know that, okay? You know I have no control over it.
You do have control over getting a voice sample from your client. Get it? You and I can both go to the forensic expert together. I'll go with you.
Greta, I know for a fact I don't, because you said it many times last night, that doesn't make sense, Euron, that doesn't make sense. You don't believe a word he was saying on that interview last night, do you?
You're dodging. You're dodging.
No,
Give me the voice sample. Give me the voice sample.
It's not my voice.
Give me the voice sample, and you and I both go.
Greta,
Joe, I got to go.
Send the tape over to the investigators. I'll give you a voice sample.
Yeah, right. They're real busy investigating. Joe, thank you.